most people with anxiety are really positive people who are really grateful, but there is a biochemical rhythm inside of us that works against us. And sometimes we have to have these tools to be able to align it all. Hey guys, welcome back to Mac. We have the lovely Michaela Cullen here today. She is a badass woman. She is a life coach. She's really smart about a lot of things, one of them being anxiety. When we mentioned that we would be talking about that, we got a great response from all of you. So we know that this is something that a lot of us creative people deal with. So we figured, let's have a dialogue about it. Let's help each other out. Why don't you guys tell us what you're struggling with? We would really like to just get this conversation going.
I have been moving through anxiety since I was in 7th grade, really. Back then, it wasn't talked about, and it wasn't really understood. And so Meg and I wanted to open the forum to everyone else and offer some tips on how, we can move through our anxiety with love and grace and compassion for ourselves and for those that we love that are moving through their anxiety as well. For so many years, I beat myself up for having this. I called it ugly. I hid it. I felt it was annoying and a burden to my family, embarrassed. So many of those negative feelings. And I still think it's a pain in my ass. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
A huge shift was when I heard your anxiety is just a part of you. But it's a part of you that has a positive intention always. It's there to protect me.
Yes.
It's there to identify things that are scary or new or maybe potentially not safe for me. It's just dialed up way high.
It is part of the best things about us. It's how I'm creative. It's how I'm so empathetic. It's how I can connect with people on such a deeper level. It's how my brain can protect my family because I am thinking here. It's going to make me a better mom, but it also can sometimes really hurt me.
I wake up many times in the middle of the night, and it's like catastrophic thinking at 2 in the morning.
But those hours in the middle of the night can be the most challenging for us. You might see me posting things at 3 in the morning on Instagram.
Learning to have that relationship with your anxiety and acknowledging, okay, this is my anxiety talking to me. It's dialed up right now.
Yes.
Because I'm having catastrophic thinking about things that realistically in my heart I know are not make it or break it situation, but my anxiety is trying to tell me it's so because it's trying to protect me. And thank you, anxiety. Thank you for trying to protect me. But right now, I'm good. I'm going to let my heart drive this. I'm going to let my spirit drive this. And I'm going to remind myself that I'm safe with all of my other tips and techniques.
Absolutely.
And so the way that I've been able to develop that relationship with my anxiety is through journaling. I journal like, today was a really anxious day. Here's what I ate. Here's how I slept. Here's what happened. Oh, I worked 9 hours yesterday and I only slept 2 hours because the babies were up. Okay.
That's information.
Yes. Taking it's almost like diagnostics,
Yes.
taking, just really getting to know what you are doing, what you're eating, and identifying moments of anxiety that are potentially triggered by those things. Because it's anxiety, they label it kind of as like an emotional experience that we somehow have control over, whereas in reality, it's a biological chemical makeup that we are having to adapt and move through.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the chemical and biological makeup can just, you need help. You need, there was years where I needed medicine, and
absolutely.
My chemistry just couldn't be balanced out through all of my tools and techniques.
Absolutely.
And that's okay too.
People have to create the network of support that works for them. I suggest creating a network of people that you feel safe with, that you can talk to. I know that Michaela will never judge me. I can tell her any weird, scary thought that I've had. You're one of my safe places. And you might only have 2 or 3 people that are that safe place, but hold on to them. You don't want to be working out your anxiety through your partner at all times. You don't want to have just one person who you're putting that on. If I put my anxiety every single time on my husband, that would be too much. So I try to make sure that I have my mom and I have 2 best girlfriends that get it, they don't judge it, and I know that I can reach out to them, and if one is not available, I have another one. It really does help to sort of get it out of your head sometimes. This brain can have 30 tabs open. I can multitask and do 5 different projects at once. Sometimes that blows up in my face, and things can really bounce around inside my head, and it can be really overwhelming. And even if in your head you say, I know it's not that big of a deal, but my body is still responding and I'm still anxious, at least the awareness helps you can let it go a little bit earlier.
Absolutely. And I also think it's important to know that, like, if anxiety is new to you and you don't or haven't been able to find the tools that work for you, I have had 20 years of figuring it out. That's why, coaches are a great resource, therapists are a really great resource where they can introduce those things to you quickly.
Yes.
So you can start implementing those tools into your relationship with your anxiety. So, okay, you're lying in bed. You're identifying my relationship with my anxiety. It's turned up. It's dialed up. Catastrophic thinking. My heart's racing. Here I go again. I know I shouldn't be thinking this, but my body's still reacting. Now what do I do? And that's where a tip that I would like to offer is through meditation, guided imagery, and visualization. I have found many great resources of these, and I have used them in moments where I was like on the brim of having a panic attack, and I put it in my ears and I listened to it, and it has saved me. The one I would like to recommend is it's Stop Anxiety Now. It's a kit by Dr. Eve A. Wood.
I need to buy that immediately.
Yeah, and it's fantastic, and it has guided imagery where it's basically just calming your central nervous system through guided imagery. It's so making you feel safe and surrounded, and taking you out of the repetitive, not constructive, negative thinking that causes the anxiety, and it brings you back into your heart space and the truth of who you really are, which is that calm, grounded feeling, right?
I definitely have suffered from anxiety for a very long time, and there have been a few milestones along the way that were really positive steps forward for me with my relationship with anxiety, and I just want to share them with you guys in case my journey can clip yours along a little bit. When I was 24, I was talking with my grandmother, who was 84 at the time, and she just happened to mention, I've never slept a night in my life. And I was like, what? Me neither. This is really helpful information. I thought I was a crazy jerk, but no, this is a biochemical part of my DNA. It's part of my genetic makeup, and that just helped me accept this and be able to move forward. So look in your family, look and see, is this something that other people identify with? It is information for you. It can inform your life. That was huge. Then I turned the conversation to Michaela, who taught me the words, your anxiety does not define you. It is not who you are. You have a relationship with it. That just took so much pressure off of me, and it made me feel a lot better about myself. And then a few years later, I just started to observe myself a little bit more because, you're a little bit more aware when you have this information. And I started to notice those nights when I would lay in bed and I would have these awful thoughts. So this is a judgment-free zone. So anything I tell you guys, you best not judge me. But something that happens with people with anxiety, we try to protect ourselves from what could happen. What's the worst case scenario that could happen? Oh, someone that I love deeply dying. That's awful. You can actually get engaged in a situation that could occur, and it feels very real. The pace of my brain is not something I can stop. But if I can filter it through a positive light, that helps it slow down in an organic way. It helps me drop down and get more centered with myself. So I kind of made up some mantras in my head, whether I am concerned about my dog's health or my husband's health. This is something really positive. You can literally touch them or just visualize them and say, you are here, you are safe. You are here, you are safe. You can say that to yourself. You can say that to your children. It doesn't mean that you are a negative person. It doesn't mean you are a pessimist. Most people with anxiety are really positive people who are really grateful, but there is a biochemical rhythm inside of us that works against us. And sometimes we have to have these tools to be able to align it all in a healthier place.
One more tip that I really want to share, though, is just the connection with breath. If anyone out there is experiencing actual panic attacks, which I have, we with anxiety think about the worst possible outcome. And we do that, let's think of every single possible outcome. And then I'm going to focus on the worst ones because those are the ones I'm going to actually potentially need to survive. And those are the ones I'm really scared I won't. So I'm going to really focus on that and come up with a rescue plan. I mean, that's what I do.
Yes.
But sometimes I get stuck in the bad outcome, and I actually start developing feelings of panic. I'm actually living that potential outcome
totally
in my body. And the thing that goes the first out the door is my breathing. The flight and fright is kicked up, and I honestly have had moments where I'm like, I just need to run and get the hell out of here. The minute I have that, I'll either play that visualization, or I play really soft music, and I just calm myself, and I sit with myself, and I say, you are breathing.
Yes.
And I feel my chest rising and falling, and that physical sensation is reminding me that I'm breathing and I'm safe, and then I just try my best to breathe. You want to just at least honor the feeling so that you can move through it as fast as possible. And if you're really in the full panic of it, you don't even know you're breathing.
Right.
I mean, that's how intense it can get. And I have a lot of fear of flying, and I have a lot of panic that's triggered when I fly. And I laugh about it because I'll have my like essential oil, my lavender oil, and I'll have like my guided meditation earbuds, and I'm like,
totally. You do you, girl. You do you.
And I'm like, yo,
hey,
oh, you look, this is better than the alternative.
I got A Course in Miracles reading in my lap. I do whatever I gotta do. I got my sound machine doing waves. Look, hey, I truly think whatever you have to put in your arsenal to bring you to a calm place, self-care is survival. Anxiety fits under the umbrella of invisible diseases. Other people may not acknowledge it, but it is just as important as somebody with a physical ailment that you cannot see.
Yeah.
It is very important. We don't want to set the entire room ablaze with, oh, this could happen or this could happen, but take a moment and say, all right, if I'm picking up on this little anxiety and there's an action I can take that will prevent it, why not prevent it? That's not me being a pessimist. I'm not trying to project a negativity, but it's just my brain trying to create a solution for a problem that may or may not occur. And so I'm very lucky I have a partner who gets that. And if you have someone or friends that don't quite get that, just start a conversation and just say, I'm not trying to create a negative. I'm just trying to be a friend to myself.
And if they don't get it, do it anyway.
Totally.
I mean,
you don't have to explain yourself.
I know lots of loved ones that I have that don't get it. And I can talk to them as much as possible, and they can try to be compassionate, but it can be to them sometimes high maintenance. And, to that I say, whatever. Like you say, you need to do you. And if there is something that can alleviate the anxiety and there's some sort of plan you can put in motion to let you be present, then you need to do that for yourself. My biggest takeaway and encouragement would be start that relationship with your anxiety, start getting curious and compassionate, and just jotting everything down in a journal and really understanding it a little bit better and knowing it always has a positive intention. It's not there to be a thorn in your side.
I will include a blog post link below so that you guys can continue to turn to us for some more resources. I'm always posting motivational mantras every Monday because I need them. And so I love sharing them. I love seeing what works for you. You can follow me on Pinterest. I have a whole board called Word that's just filled with mantras like this, mostly for me. I'm not preaching to you. I need them. I need them. So it helps me. Thank you for being so generous about this, Michaela. You have been so generous through the years with me. You've really helped me with my relationship with my anxiety. I now see it sometimes as a friend. Sometimes I'm still working on it because it's a journey.
Well, thank you for having me too. And thank you for being my support through the years too. And as always, such a dear present friend. I'm so blessed to have you in my life. If you want to learn more about coaching, if you need some support, or even if you just want to ask me some questions, you can find me at facebook.com/Michaela Cullen Coaching. And I do offer, free consultation calls. So, that's a great way to kind of connect and see, how and if I can help you and take it from there. And I'd love to talk to you guys.
Comment below. Let us know what of these tips are helping you. What are you struggling with your anxiety? We want to talk about it. We want to help. We will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Keels. Bye, guys.